Hello and welcome to my review of the Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Ultra Magnus. Here he is, and just a warning, he is very clunky. He is a thick boy. So I mean, if you don't like the big and blocky stuff, then this figure is not for you. But I have to say, over time, it has grown on me. I didn't really like it at first, and I wasn't sure if I was ever going to like it, but I do. I do quite enjoy his design. We'll get close here on the face, see if we can get in some of the details. It is in a nice silver, and the eyes are painted blue. And he does have a worn out look, like a lot of the Siege toys. Silver dry brushing under the forearms, chest, those areas. And he's an okay size figure. He's labeled as leader class, but he's not. I've seen bigger leader classes before. Here he is with deluxe Ironhide, I think. He was a deluxe. I don't remember. Well, yeah, he is a deluxe. Yeah. So I'd say Voyager sized at best. Not a very big figure. The Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus was he was a leader class figure. Anyway. So it was a decision between the Siege Ultra Magnus and Combiner Wars. I obviously chose this one, and we'll get into that when we go to the vehicle mode and such. But his accessories, he does come with this gun, which is picked out in silver. It's dyed or cast in red plastic, and he's got two of these, and he got silver on the barrel, cast in black, and the other side is hollow. Sorry. And you can hold them, obviously, and what I usually do is you got two holes, two ports, and I plug the guns into the sides, and you can plug these little missile launchers because they come off, and you can plug them into the side, but they don't hold in very well. They're not actually really tabbed in, and it's kind of a ridiculous look anyway. But I know some people like that. Anyway, just give them like a 3-barreled rifle. I mean, it fits Ultra Magnus. I mean, I think it looks pretty good like that. Anyway, here he is with the Combiner Wars figure. Just kind of show that off. And here he is with a Combiner. I'd like to keep this video short, so I'm going to go ahead and get into the articulation real quick. You can go kick forward that far on a nice ratcheted joint. It's kind of a little loose because of how heavy his legs are. Can't really go back any far because of his thick ass. He can spread the legs, I think, yeah, 90 degrees almost, but it holds well if you get it all the way up here. But once you it'll just kind of flop around between here and here. You can move his arm, swing his arm out, 90-degree elbow bend, and it's actually, these two blue pieces are actually touching each other. Head is on a ball joint, and waist rotation. And he does have ankle tilt, and the Siege Ironhide had that as well, but it would have been nice because he's such a heavy figure, at least in comparison to his joints, he's heavy. It'd be nice if he had a forward and backward movement on the feet, but that's alright. And what else? Knee bend. A useless knee bend. That's as far as it's going to go when he's got his armor on. And tight. Swivel there, and a thigh rotation. And that's about it. Alright, so getting along with the transformation, he is a parts former through and through, so you just kind of gotta remove everything. And I wasn't sold on parts forming at first, but you know, like his blockiness, it grew on me. It reminds me of like Lego sets as a child. You know, I used to love those, and it's just kind of a throwback for me. Let's see. Let's try to get this off. There we go. That back clip is really tight on mine. I don't know if that's on everyone's, but okay. The crotch plate. So forward. Pick the arms. Man, flip out his head. Now, I don't know if you knew this, but like the original toy, he's got the white Magnus, or white Prime, on the inside of his red and blue armor, and that's cool. I've got this is the selling point for me. This was the last straw, and I was like, okay, I have to buy this. Because if you weren't sold on parts forming, you don't have to parts form. You just leave him like this, and he transforms. And I think that's really cool. And if anything, the articulation it's exactly the same, except for you can move your legs back farther, and you got a actual useful knee bend now. And heel spur, still got that same, even less ankle tilt now. But, yeah. You can actually use the legs for articulation now. And I'm going to zoom in on his face here. Come on. There we go. Nice blue accents on his forehead and mouth guard. He's got red eyes, and you can see the inside of this is actually silver. If you open up the panel on the inside, you can see that, but anyway. Got that blue bit, which I am not a fan of, but that's alright. And he's got the little smokestacks on the side here. Yep. Really nice. And he's got, again, that dry brushed battle damage. I mean, I like him. He's nice. But we're not going to spend too much time. We're just going to plug his solo silver gun in. White Optimus Prime. There you go. But I have to say, this is one of my favorite parts of the figure. And just going to go into vehicle mode. Ouch. And this thing runs on a track. I'm not sure if you can actually get this off, because you can twist the body in a lot of different ways, but I don't think you can actually get this off, because there's always going to be one thing in the way that's preventing it. And see, that's reassuring. That's never going to just fall off. Oh, anyway, you can see silver. Wait, he does have a Autobot symbol right there. Just forgot to point that out. And real quick, on his legs, there's a tab right here, and slots up here, so you can't just bring his legs up, or you're gonna break that tab off. So you got to make sure he's nice and spread out when you bring his legs up. All right, and then you have this Cybertronian truck, which is very clearly him just in a backward sitting pose, but I mean, from the front and from the side you can get away with it. But once you get to, like, that, it's, obvious. This isn't the main mode, but it's still kind of disappointing, because I don't have the Optimus Prime toy to compare this to, but, I mean, he's kind of expensive for what you get, and that's kind of unfortunate. I wish I could have done something to, you know, kind of fold up the arms more. And, you know, I could forgive the legs if the arms weren't so visibly just in your face. But yeah, anyway. Comparisons. Here he is with the Siege Ironhide, and they scale very nicely together. I believe this is just a little smaller than the Optimus Prime, and you know that works out pretty well. I forgot to do comparisons. So here they both are in their in his standard mode. Okay, so now we're going to take all of this junk that we have left over and just start trying to make it as flat as possible. You know, basically the goal here, just unflip everything, plug little missile pods up here, and then they'll be in place for when we need to use them later. Okay, and grab the shoulders. I'm not trying to talk through the whole transformation, but I don't just want someone sitting there watching this, thinking about how weird I am with this stuff, so. And if you want the weapons to store, then you need these forearm panels a little open when you tab them up here. You can store the weapons on the outside of the vehicle, you know, because there's pegs everywhere. But yeah, I don't like that visible weapon storage like we have with Ironhide, where it's just on the top of this car. I don't really like that very much. See, should have done this part before I put those in here, but that's okay. Alright, 1 second. Let me turn on my flashlight. Alright. Okay. All the tabs on mine are very tight, so that's kind of making it a little difficult for me to get all this in camera as well as tabbed in correctly. And we're just not going to tab this in. This just kind of crap. I was supposed to go in first. God damn it. There we go. It just kind of notches itself in there. Alright. And then make sure these panels are open enough to swing in between the 3 rifles. And I don't think this was on any of the instructions or anything. I'm going to be honest, I didn't read the instructions. I just went and figured this all out. Because that's how we did it when I was a little kid, and that's just how you do it. Take this piece right here, and it'll go into right there. And so basically what you have now is alien semi-truck, alien trailer. Obviously his legs. Only piece of real kibble on the trailer part is obviously his feet. If these just folded up, I would have loved this so much. It would be perfect to me. Anyway, I'm just gonna see if you bend the knees. There we go. Everything just kind of folds around the truck. Alright, and I think that's it. Everything in there? Everything's nice and in there. And as you can see, he looks like an RV. I'm gonna be honest. Because it doesn't like swivel, and there's no like real gaps between there, and so it just kind of looks like he's a big RV, and that's just kind of disappointing to me. Also, these wheels don't all sit flat, and so basically you have these wheels not cooperating ever. I can't position them in a way that they do, and anyway. So a good part about the weapon storage is that it covers up his head. You can kind of see it in there just barely, but that's kind of my inspiration for trying to shove the guns in there, was to cover up his head. And we'll just compare him to Ironhide real quick. Again, pretty good scale. I mean, it's just these were in good scale, so now that trailer's on, doesn't really make a difference, but yeah, so there's my review of War for Cybertron Siege Ultra Magnus. I hope this video wasn't too long, and yeah, I just kind of threw this together in the middle of the night. I'm going to do some more updates, and I did get my Menasor and Defensor from Combiner Wars, and we'll try to get those done Saturday if I can. I've had enough playtime with the figures, I've got a good idea on what I'm going to do with them, and I do got some repo labels for my MPP 27 that's coming in Monday, and I mean, look forward for my new videos. I'm going to try to post more often. It's just kind of hard to find 2 Transformers to buy every 2 weeks.